I want to highlight how we can iterate through the collections the same way. So using the same syntax, the same idea, the same concept, let's get into it. Let's say I have a list, something like that, and let's say that I have a tuple, something like this. Again, we know a list is mutable and it's ordered. We know that a tuple is immutable. You can't change it, but it is ordered. Let's do a set and do something similar to this. And let's say we have a dictionary, and we'll just do it with these. Something like this, and just to do it somehow interesting, a little bit interesting, we'll do something like this, where the key is a string and the value is an integer. Key is a string, and the value is an integer. And so a list, a tuple, a set, and a dictionary. And what I want to show you is that we can iterate through all of these using the same syntax. So to prove it to you, let me show you. We can do something like my collection. Let's make it equal to, let's point to the same object that my list is pointing to. What we'll do here is we'll iterate through this. We'll create a for loop, and if you know me and you know what I love about Python in general is that the code, the syntax, it sounds like plain English. It just flows. So for example, for each element in the list or the collection, my collection, let's go ahead and print the element. All right, so this just flows like for element in my collection, print the element that you're currently in. And if we print this, what do we get? Well, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is obviously the list. So what about if we just change that? And notice how I'm not going to change the for loop. I'm just going to change what this is pointing to. What is this? Well, my collection, whatever my collection variable is pointing to. I'm going to see that I have 10 to 50, and that's the tuple. How about my set? Well, if I run that, you can see that the set is not ordered, and look at here how it's not in any particular order, but it is mutable. We know the tuple is ordered, but immutable. The set is unordered, but it is mutable. So it's not changing per se, but it's not something that we can guarantee. So we can't depend on that. And how about my dictionary? Well, if we make it point to that, we see that we do have 1, 2, 3, and that's exactly the values that we have. The keys that we have here. So that's one thing to note. Even though dictionaries, you do have more methods that you could use in a dictionary, like items, value, and keys, and we've covered that in another video. You know that by default, when you say element, this is what you get, 1, 2, 3, and these are the keys. So I hope you enjoy.